You know, as a YouTuber, small YouTuber, I often feel inadequate. I feel like, maybe I don't know enough. I'm gonna get this wrong. People are gonna, flame me for being incorrect or fudding or whatever. So recently I got invited up to really step into something much bigger than myself. Bitboy Crypto's YouTube channel, he has about 1.4, 1.5 million subscribers. And on his particular show around the blockchain has something like tens of thousands of views on every episode. And so when I was invited on, I was extremely excited to be on this show. I still am. I'm like flying high from this show. But I went in it with a particular strategy in mind. I didn't want to be the most informational, the most wise. I didn't want to be all that. I wanted to be the most memorable, the most emotional. I wanted to be the highest. I wanted to stand out. I heard this from one of my mentors. You want to either be turned off or be turned up. When someone hears you, when they listen to what you have to say, you want them to either turn you off or turn you up. And so that's something that's the mentality I went into around the blockchain with. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you the clips that I had and maybe adding more to it because the nerves really got to me. You could see like my eyes darting around and like this nervous energy to be there. I mean, I just got caught up into it and I was very excited to be in it. Just thank you to all the hosts and the guests on there. Even if they were, I was contrarian to their point, it was strategic. It was like, hey, I don't wanna just go along and agree with everything. I wanted to stand out. And a real big thank you to Brad Varnell from Infinite Crypto. All their links will be down in the description down below, and the link to the main video will be down in the description below. But this first video clip was about the question, hey, will Bitcoin sustain $20,000? Will it go up and will it go down? And here was my response.
The markets are down and they're down heavy. A lot of people, obviously, this is coming from the core CPI data, the regular CPI data. What can we expect with Bitcoin? I mean, can it hold 20K?
But I'm still in the camp of that the bottom is actually in and that we might actually just be trading sideways here until we kind of like work through September and start getting some better news. So there's not all like lost yet. There's still a glimmer of hope for everybody, not financial advice.
All right, Cowboy, you're shaking your head. I'm guessing you don't assume the bottom is in. And what is that what you're shaking your head about?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. What levels are you looking at? Is it that 9, 10, 11, 13, 14 range, or are you super bear saying maybe even 3K here?
Yeah, what levels? That's a crazy question. The levels is as far down below the earth as possible. Look, Bitcoin
negative money.
And the crypto markets are, what was that?
Negative money. You'll pay me to take your Bitcoin. Sign me up.
Negative money. Look, the crypto is more testy than a hungry wife, okay? So we should be anticipating all this type of FUD, all this type of news, just messing around with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin and the crypto markets could be adjusted by some kind of tweet, we should be expecting all this type of FUD hitting. And there's really two reasons why you would buy into crypto or Bitcoin at all. One is tangible. You think that it's going to be worth more now than in the future. Or two, philosophical, that you are here in it for the long run and you opt out of the future agendas that governments and central bankings have, that you don't agree with that. And that's why you buy into it philosophically. You buy into crypto either one of these two ways. You either think that it's going to make a lot more money, or philosophically, you just opt out of centralized everything, centralized everything. And that's where I'm at. And I fluctuate between both. And so when you buy into it tangibly, when you think that it's going to go up, you start seeing as 9% as a big move, a big shift, like, oh, we're going to get destroyed with 9%. 9% is the equivalent of me cutting my fingernails too shallow. Okay. That is how it affects Bitcoin. It doesn't affect Bitcoin. It shouldn't affect Bitcoin and especially Bitcoin, because of the crypto markets, right? Because we're in it for the long haul. All of us here. We're going to be wealthy. Okay. If we're in it for the long haul, we're going to be wealthy. If we're trading, we're asking for a lot of trouble.
All right. I do want to push back. Sometimes you cut your fingernails too short and it stings a little, right? Sometimes.
Stings a little bit. So I respect Joe. I didn't want to be against him, but I did want to take a very strong contrarian approach. I wanted to cap my answers with like something memorable on both sides, but the energy was going and I was like losing my train of thought, as you could tell. But in the end, we were right? Bitcoin did not hold 20,000. It actually dropped below multiple times, especially after the ETH merge. But, who's counting? Rack up the points here. Anyway, this next question is about a new exchange coming online, and these were some of my thoughts on it.
What do you think? I mean, I don't want to say it was a bleak picture, Joe, but, he basically is saying Fidelity, they don't care about crypto as much as they just want to get an exchange out there. They make money if it goes up, they make money if it goes down. They want to capture that spread. Do you think it's more in the camp of here's an opportunity, we need to just launch an exchange, or is it maybe some young upstart executive is like, no, this is the future and this is just the first step in their playbook?
Look, you and I are peons to these giants. And what do we care if a giant gets a new club, a shiny new club to whack us with? And that's what this EMXD, whatever exchange stands
More
for.
whales
That it's
funneling the money into their pockets, essentially.
it's just more whales. Look, there's only three ways that Bitcoin is going to U-turn. Only three. One, Bitcoin halving. That's the only way, or one of three. Two, the Fed U-turns. Okay, stops tightening up on us. Okay, and three, and last but not least, three is big regulation. Okay, big. They put stipulations, they put rules, they put authorities, they put regulation in place so that big money. This whole one exchange comes in, says it's safe, and all this, and they're doing different. Look, we've all been trained to think that we need centralized exchanges to keep us safe. We need centralized banks to keep us safe. We need to untrain our brain here. That's the magic of blockchain. That's what blockchain is really. It's freedom. It's the ability to retrain our brain and to make sure that we take our own security of our own future, our own monetary, everything that we can accumulate and our fruits of our labor and secure it ourselves. And that's what we're after. We're not trusting some big giant that can Celsius us. We're not trusting big giant Luna that crash on us. We're not trusting these next exchanges. And there's going to be many more. There's a lot of exchanges out there. We don't need to trust any of them. You and I have that responsibility to keep it safe ourselves on blockchain.
All right, we need to retrain our brain. That's a tattoo I need to get at the top of every bull market.
Amen.
All right. Amen there.
I think I went really high level on that type of question. I think I just shot off into like philosophical area, but you know, that's just where I go sometimes. In this next question, he was asking about a particular NFT that I really had no idea about, Doodles. And so I'm not sure if I answered it the way he wanted to answer it, but I think I did make some impressionable impacts on some of those punchy lines.
Moving on here, let's talk a little Doodles here. Cowboy, I mean, I see you shaking your head. You seem incredulous here. I mean, were they better off with a can of beans and some tumbleweed? 50, they raised 50 million. Was that dumb money, or is this the deal of the century?
We've also seen huge, small, tiny coins go shoot up to the moon. We've seen this time and again. Look, I would never be one to down a project, especially something like a blue chip project like Doodles. But if someone explained to me how a cartoon drawing of a skeleton barfing a rainbow is worth $700 million, it doesn't connect in my lizard brain. I'm simple. And here's the fact of the matter is that when in the last 14 years, we have been printing money. And when we print money to the economy, everything inflates. And when everything inflates, there is a false sense of success. Like me as a business owner, you know, I'm so successful and I got all this money. And we have all this false confidence. And so I think what's happening right now, and especially in this year, when the Fed's tightening, is that it's retraining a lot of this false confidence, this false narrative that, you know, this money was easy. And it's really not. It's very difficult to raise. It should be difficult to raise 700 million. I mean, I know Joe's saying that it's not that much, but in reality, like if we're looking at the community aspect of it, it is powerful, especially Shiba. You know, these communities are powerful, and there's a network effect that brings value in. But at the end of the day, is the value there? Is the actual value there? And that's quantifiable by a lot of different ways. To me, I wish Doodles all the best and the community all the best, but it's very hard for me to see where the valuation comes from. So I didn't get the win, but honestly, I wasn't even going for the win, okay? I just wanted to be memorable. I wanted people to turn me up or turn me off, and I think, you know, I'm working towards that. Next time, hopefully there's a next time, they'll have me back on. The nerves won't get to me as much. I just want to thank the rest of the guests on there. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I want to specifically thank Brad from Infinite Crypto. Go ahead and check out his channel down below. He was the only reason that I was able to get on that channel. Actually, let me tell a story because he'll never tell this, but I want to let you know how awesome of a person this guy is. He said, Aaron, I think you should be on Around the Blockchain, and I'm going to give up my spot so that you can slip in there instead of me. And on the day, apparently someone else canceled, and so he was able to come back on in place of that other person who canceled. But I just thought it was such a self-sacrificial, like such a giving thing that he gave to me. that he was willing to give up his spot to shine his own YouTube channel instead, just to give me a little bit, give me a contact there. I was like astounded about the kindness of someone that you just met through the internet. So guys, check out his channel down below, and if you're around here anytime for any amount of time, you see him on the live streams and stuff like that. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for joining me on my journey through YouTube, through crypto. It's been an absolute ride, and I'll see you guys in the next video.